Welcome to a new episode of Outside the Panels with your host, Johnny the Machine Hughes.
On to an episode of Outside the Panels. I'm your host, Johnny the Machine Hughes, and joining me this time around is a young creator with a book to tell, the story of the old Wild Wild West. It is none other than Mr. Jake Palermo. Jake, how's it going?
Very good. Very good, Mr. Machine.
Either Johnny or the Machine's fine. It's totally cool. So, you must be quite chuffed. New comic book coming out already now. What was the inspiration for this story?
Honestly, when I heard about how barbed wire was what really changed the Wild West, I just thought I could make a story out of that.
It's interesting because the history, of course, is the Wild West was the big open plain where the buffalo roam, and of course, barbed wire has since done away with that. What was it about the carving of the Wild West that kind of gave you pause?
Honestly, not much. I mean, I've read plenty of Wild West stories like The Sixth Gun, Jonah Hex, and a few others like Lucky Luke. But honestly, I just wanted to try my hand at something and have a little fun. Just have something from the portfolio, something to show everyone what I can do.
Cool. Excellent. So we'll have a quick look. We've got the book here as we speak. Let me get it up there for you to have a look. The hero of the piece is quite a mysterious chap, isn't he? With his shadow-like hat and bandana around his face. I expect him to start laughing any minute now.
Yeah, that cover's by Victor Alpe. He kind of came with the publishing deal.
All right, cool. That's good. Are you happy with the cover?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Although I think I liked my main artist, Raquel Kuziak, just a little better. Nothing against Victor, but there was a little mix up behind the scenes and whatnot.
Okay. So did Raquel's end up being the cover B one?
Yeah, cover B's Raquel Kuziak's.
Okay. If you give me 2 seconds, we shall have that up as we speak. So I think the cover pretty much tells you what you need to know this time around, doesn't it? From an intro point of view. If a picture paints 1,000 words, then you've got that kind of whip cracking cowboy. You've got the buffalo in the background there. It pretty much, does what it says on the tin, right?
Yeah, basically.
And so, is this your first foray into comic books, or have you written comics before?
It's the only one I managed to get published.
So, how long have you been writing comics then, Jake?
Been trying and failing since I got out of college, so somewhere between 6 to 7 years.
Okay, cool. And what's your inspiration for getting into comics? Is it Marvel, DC? Is it indie books?
Can't really say, because honestly, the more you're just trying to increase a portfolio, the more you just want to try and get your name out there so that people at least know who you are. Somebody to have your back. If you're reliable, somebody will have your back, and if people like your stuff well enough, they'll at least want to be in your corner.
Yeah, cool. Well, we love indie books. We love the idea of new talent coming along. So I'm so glad you took the time to speak to me today. Let's get into the book and see where we go. I have to say, I was there's the cover B. There we go. Nice and simple on that one. I like that one. I can see why you like that one, actually. It's very striking. It's a kind of bit of a scarecrow thing going on there, isn't there? Like Scarecrow from Batman. It's quite good. I like that one.
Well, I don't think that was Raquel's idea, but it definitely gets the point across of the connection between that white bison from earlier and how it's connected to this stranger.
Yeah. Good call. Like that a lot. Cool. How hard was it to getting your story down on paper and then kind of handing it off to Raquel to do the layouts and the pencils? Were you quite nervous about it, or were you like quite?
I first started with 8 pages. Pretty much the first 7 pages you'd see on here, plus another one. But
Mhm.
but like any first timer, I had to at least be able to tell people what was going on. Thankfully, the main editor for this, Andy Schmidt, managed to help with that, as well as a few laymen I had to bring in to at least get them to say what I don't know what's going on. Get a little help here.
Yeah, yeah. So these laymen, these friends of yours, are they comic book fans?
Not really. They've heard about this stuff and they've watched the movies, but they're not. But I think that's what helped this out the most.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call. I think if you get too tied up into comic books, then it's hard to get past that kind of mindset, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got somebody who's coming in fresh, doesn't know a damn thing about comic books, then at least you're getting an honest appraisal. So that's a good shout. I like that. That's a good call. So when you handed off the scripts to Raquel, were you nervous when you were getting the art back?
Yeah, here's the funny story.
Go for it.
We had trouble communicating since, well, I'm not even sure if Raquel Kuziak speaks English. She lives all the way in Spain.
Ah.
So we spoke to each other through middlemen, through CEX. But for some reason, some of the emails that said stuff was ready weren't showing up in my inbox. So, and when I had to speak to somebody else about it, well, we had to find a few workarounds. And I'd say the first few times with the artwork were pretty good. Although sometimes we had to go back and forth on what could be done better, or why some things didn't make any sense. That bison somewhere in the middle corner, that was wide, but she's only supposed to show up later. So
yeah.
So I made that one into a brown one to just show what the stranger's whose side the stranger's on.
Yeah, that's cool. That makes sense. That makes sense. Cool. Because it's funny because there is a juxtaposition in here, isn't there? When you look at the art, you see the sheriff on the right in the white, and you automatically kind of think white dressed, it means good guy, right?
I wanted to make this guy look like some, not imposing, but some kind of but someone who exudes somebody who's high and money, someone who wants to be seen, that I have all the power and whatnot.
Okay, that works. I like that. It's definitely a contrast to the rest of the book there. Definitely. Let's have a look at page 2. Interesting narrative, because the narrator is neither the sheriff nor the stranger. The narrator is this little kid in the bottom here. Is the whole thing going to be taken from the kid's point of view?
The whole comic, yeah.
Okay, cool. Does the kid have any reference to the stranger down the line? Of course, don't give me all the spoilers. I want people to buy the book. Right?
He knows the stranger. Knows the stranger plenty down the line.
All right. Okay. Cool. Could be Robin. You never know. Interesting. I like the way this panel's laid out with the idea of time and how he hasn't heard the bullets yet. You can see the sort of barbed wire. Tremor's style underneath the ground, very good, very clever. Was that your direction over the art, or did Raquel put that in?
Well, I definitely had the idea to have this kid notice the barbed wire, but Raquel's the one who pulled this big climactic finish off.
Cool.
From the wind up all the way down there. That's all her.
Cool. So when you write, Jake, do you write full scripts where you go like, right, I want this panel to look like this, that panel to look like that, and so on and so forth? Or do
I
you
try
kind
to
of
excuse me. I try to keep it simple so that the artist can work their magic, but I gotta at least give some kind of direction, some idea of what they should expect and whatnot. But found out I should at least give them a better idea of what should be conveyed rather than just say they're reading my mind.
that would be a handy trick, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Things get a little bit weird around this point here. Obviously, the stranger has used his barbed wire. He's tamed the sheriff. What's going on with the horse and the fetlock there?
Well, that's supposed to mean that the sheriff had set a trap for both the sheriff as well as his goons.
Oh, right, okay. Cool. All right, okay, cool. My poor horse got lamed. Oh, it's a shame. When you were doing the kind of writing, you're giving sort of direction to Raquel, were you given any, did you give any reference material, you know, like like Tombstone or Lone Ranger or anything like that? Or did you just say, right, this is Western, go knock yourself out?
I didn't give her any reference material. I just said, I basically just told him do whatever you feel like would convey it best.
Okay, cool. That's a lot of trust, you know. I don't think I'd be able to trust people that much, Jake. I think I'd very much be super hands-on. I think I'd be like really like, right, this is what I want, and I want to see this. You've got more patience than I have, sir. Definitely.
Some might say a little too much, guys. Like I said, I didn't hear back from these people from the artists for a long time because I thought they were just busy. But turns out, they don't even really know what happened with those emails. It just happened, and well, it took longer than it should have, but at least it worked out.
Excellent. Cool. Excellent. So when you think about your interest in comic books, then when we talk about a little bit about you on this one, so what is it about comics that you enjoy?
I like that people can get ideas onto these a little easier and a bit more efficiently than, say, animation, live action movies, or even just books. Because frankly, you can enjoy and immerse yourself into just one single issue more than, and it doesn't always require a huge amount of backstory. One done right, of course, and when marketed properly.
So who's your writing inspiration?
Honestly, a bit too many.
No, what comics are you reading right now?
Well, I just finished this one called Top 10 from way back in, as it was Alan. It was from this imprint called ABC, but DC owns it now, and I don't think the guy who wrote the first story, Alan Moore, likes that very much.
Yeah, I agree. Alan Moore is famous for hating DC, isn't he? Yeah, it's like,
especially since he went to this imprint to get away from all that stuff, only for the owner of Wildstorm to sell it to a DC.
Yeah. Well, you know, money talks, I guess. Money talks. You know, I'm sure if DC came knocking on your door, you'd say, "Yep, I can write it for you. No worries. Give me a Batman book, and I'm there."
I definitely wouldn't mind a little recognition from A-listers, but you gotta at least know what people like about them, not just throw a bunch of stuff together.
That's true. I agree with you on that one. Yeah, I agree. I suppose that's the beauty of being an independent writer with your own book, is that you can take this book wherever you want it to go, story-wise, and you don't have to worry about the big cheese coming down and saying, no, you can't do that because he's a multimedia icon. You know, at least with your story, there can be a start, middle, and an end, as opposed to someone like Batman or Spider-Man, where it's just a continual regurgitation of the same thing over and over.
Well, that's not always true, but that is but it is what people tend to look at it like.
Okay, are you saying that people say that you can't do what you want to your comic book?
You can do a lot of things with your own content. I mean, I made this made this comic with a contract, and it cost me $4,000 just to get everything together, as well as a hands-off agreement.
So you had to sign a hands-off agreement once you'd completed it?
More like what? Yeah, that's basically how it went. I could have chosen to give this IP to CEX for merchandising and all that other stuff. I would still get royalties compared to the bigger publishers, but I like to hold on to my IPs and not just give other people the licensing rights.
All right. So how does this work? So you wrote this, because I'm a little bit confused now. So you wrote the book, CEX get involved, help you with the cover artist, help you with an artist. Where does the $4,000 come from? Did you have to pay them to retain your rights as
I had to pay them for the services to get an artist.
All right,
and all that other stuff.
All right.
Editing, coloring, lettering, the works.
All right. So that cost 4,000.
Yeah.
So then they're selling the book on their website. You can decide what you want to do story-wise with your character. You can either kill him, keep him, write a sequel, do whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
Or are you contractually obligated to do something with that?
No, I only signed up for I created this through the Comics Experience service. It's something through the related CEX company to at least get. I went to one of the Comics Experience classes, went through the lecture, then I took one of their workshops to make this comic a reality.
All right, okay, cool. So when do you start seeing some cheddar cheese then?
Could you repeat that?
So when do you start getting the payback? When do the big books start coming rolling in for you?
In checks, hopefully after a few weeks from launch on October 25th.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. So this is all primed for that big reveal day then, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Excellent. All right, we'll take a quick break there whilst we try and count our pennies to see if Jay gets his $4,000 back. In the meantime, let's have an advert for one of our other shows. Where shall we go? Say what? We'll keep it short and sweet. It's the Old Timers Comic Book Show.
Do you want to find out what makes the professor do his happy dance? Check out the Old Timers Comic Book Show, only on the UCPN.
If you like your comics a certain vintage, check out the Old Timers Comic Book Show, where the hosts aren't old, but the comics most certainly are. There you go. They might even have some westerns, might even get some Jonah Hex in there. You never know. When it comes to the art, I know you signed a contract with CEX for the book, for the art and the editing and so on. Did you get a say as to who was going to be your artist?
Yeah, I had 3 options. Raquel was one of them. The other 2, I didn't. I saw their pinup art, and while it was okay, I liked Raquel's better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Fair enough. Were they more? What sort of styles were the other people? Were they kind of grainy, the same as Raquel, or was it a little bit just too modern?
I've got nothing against pinup artists, but most of the time they just look so stiff and trying to work poses. I was looking for artists who could at least make their pictures look lively. Like like it looks like they could move and like real people, not just make posters.
Yeah, I get what you said. Yeah, you want the characters to move through the comic book. You don't just need a pin-up page with like a fancy pose. No, because that's what covers are for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, good call. Good call. How many pages is the full comic? If the preview 7 pages, how big is the full comic?
About I think about 26 pages, but of the full comic, but I also saw the finished product with a few ads for CEX's other stuff, so might have lost count.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. All right. Okay. So, is the book in comic stores or is it only available through the CEX website?
Oh, a few comic book stores probably got the FOC, probably ordered it. I know one around Skip Pack did, but I'm not sure how many of them. Don't know how many of them, but the FOC ended a couple of weeks ago, so hopefully, one or more around 800 copies were bought to get that $4,000 I paid for it back.
Okay.
I mean, a few of my relatives even ordered the comic when I told them about it.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Excellent. Well, you are in the previews magazine, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I suppose. Although Diamond is currently losing a lot of its main draw-ins lately.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear what you're saying, but it's still one of the places to go for the kind of news and views. For those that are interested and you want to get down to your comic book shop, the previews code is JUL, JUL, so Juliet Uniform Lima, 231499. There you go. So that's Juliet Uniform Lima, 231499. FOC might have gone and gone, but if you speak to your comic book shop, your local comic book shop, they may be able to get a little side order on the down low for you. You never know. That's how it normally works. So other than that, we can go to the CEX website. And this is this. So you've got top of the page, you've got Raquel's cover, fantastic cover there. Then you've got the A cover and the B cover there. Both $4.99. Like that. That's a good call. Good price for decent page count. I like the sticker. Whose idea was the sticker?
I'm pretty sure that was CEX's because Victor didn't know about this.
Oh, that's a shame. So I hope Victor's getting some payback for that, because that's a canny little thing. I'd have that on the back of my laptop, definitely. Digital comics, again, $4.99.
Would have minded if that was $1 cheaper than the print stuff.
Yeah, I can understand why it should be, but this is their website, so. Would you say the CEX experience has been a decent experience for yourself?
Yeah, I'd say so. Got a chance to feel like a professional or creative for a while. He might even have I've got a few short stuff that I would like to do that I would like to try again at certain times.
Well, and I suppose this is a great thing. As you mentioned the portfolio earlier, you could now go to places like Source Point Press and say, look, I've got a comic out. This is what it looks like. This is what it reads. So it's definitely helped. It helps you get a foot in the door, right? Because you've got a book out already. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's always having something to at least help people you can at least do what you're good at always helps.
Agreed. Excellent. You were kind enough to send some information across to us here at Outside. So let's have a look. We've already looked at the CEX webpage. Explain to me, please, what Gutternaut is all about whilst I bring the page up. There you go.
It's basically my blog where I talk about various comic book related topics. Like that, like this one, like this top page, which is supposed to at least give collectors around.
Cool.
Mostly because I wanted to keep my Amazon Associates affiliate going.
Cool.
Yeah, well, not just Western comics too, but manga, basically anything, manga, Filipino stuff, and basically a lot of things that from around the world.
And I suppose this is a great way to practice your writing styles.
Yeah, it always, and I get a lot of requests from certain creators, like this one right here. This one's actually a magazine.
All right, okay, cool. Excellent. It's interesting. I've seen them. Oh, there's yours. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, this was a suggestion by some of the marketers at CEX.
Yeah. Excellent. Cool. I hear what you're saying. I get all sorts of requests. What have I reviewed? I've reviewed CDs. I've reviewed proper novel books, which I find really hard to do on a podcast because there's not a lot to look at. But no, it's interesting what we get as our price, I suppose, of reviewing. Excellent. So where can we get? So if you want to purchase the book, there you go. There's the website strap. There it is, right on the bottom. cxcomics.com. You know how it works. It's a long link. Go to cxcomics.com. Type in Wire Fence. I'm sure you'll get there. It's the one to sell you the book. That's cool. Raquel Kuziak has a webpage. There you go. You can head over to that. So you can check out more of Raquel's art. Would you work with Raquel again?
If it was possible.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. And of course, where would we be without the internet for Jake himself? A couple of links here. You've got Fracadactyl. Is that right? Where did Fracadactyl come from?
I tried to combine Fractal with Pterodactyl.
Is that your favorite dinosaur?
I just doodled my name and a pterodactyl image came up.
Cool, absolutely brilliant. And then of course you got Comics Town as well. So there you go. Plenty of ways for you to get hold of Jake and his book, Wire Fence. Excellent. Jake, give me your 30-second to a minute sales pitch on why people should be heading over to CEX or heading over to the local comic book shop with that code in their hand to try and get your book.
Okay, how about this?
Go for it.
Gunfights are overrated. Cowboys barely even did any stuff like that. You want to know what they really did? They herded and raised cattle, and I can show you why that's kind of a good thing, as well as why people should really like the Wild West. Wasn't the bank robbers, wasn't the sheriffs trying to be heroes because fighting some bandits. They like the chance of being able to experience the wide open space, to have a chance at restoring their lives after a few setbacks and whatnot, because it's not too late to turn your life around. And not even just for, you don't even have to be human. Sometimes a bison could use a better chance. They're plenty of risk, but you can experience the Wild West as it really existed in the Wire Fence.
Cool. Excellent. I love that. Even a bison needs a second chance. That should be your tagline. You should put that somewhere. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well done. Excellent. Jake, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Your book, I read it this afternoon before the pod, the 7-page preview that you sent across, and I thought it was really, really good. I enjoyed it massively. I thought it was clever. I thought it was a little bit unique. I loved the narration coming from the kid rather than from the hero. So you're getting the kid's kind of perspective of the town. I love the kind of magic whip-like element of the barbed wire. So yeah, I thought it was a really good book. You know, I wouldn't have known if you hadn't told me it was your first book. I wouldn't have known, sir. I was really very impressed with it. Well done.
Thanks.
You're more than welcome. More than welcome. There we go, Jake. Palermo with Wire Fence. Jake, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Best of luck with your book. Always hit me up if you need any more help with it. If I can help in any shape, way, or form, you know, I'm more than happy to do that. New talent, new creators need to be nurtured and supported, and that's what we're trying to do here. So thank you for spending the time with me. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome, and thanks for helping spread the word.
You're more, dude, anytime. Right, that's it for this show. I've been your host, Johnny Machine Hughes. Don't forget to check out the UCPN for all your favorite shows, including you saw the trailer for it earlier, the Old Timers Comic Book Show, and of course, for you Marvel fans, you can head over to No Price Podcast. And for DC, check out the Definitive Crusade, where everything is not peachy in the Night Terrors. Should be buying indie books, maybe. I don't know. Jake, once again, I really do appreciate your time. I really do. Okay. And I've been your host, Johnny Machine Hughes. And as always, adios.
Visit undercovercapes.com for the latest and greatest podcasts via the Undercover Capes Podcast Network. Also visit our parent company website, comiccrusaders.com, all about comic pop culture.